This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
That makes me want to get oppositional, except that there's actually not much to do here. They haven't even mentioned other coworkers before, because Stanley has never desired to interact with coworkers, it seems. Solitaire.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Obviously, we have to be oppositional, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. Ah, what the fuck? The doors. I can't open this door, by the way. It doesn't give you that many interaction options. I'm not able to jump yet, I guess.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, so this is like an actual schedule for like a corporate, you know, entity, I guess. Corporate working group. But getting a bit unhinged. Or maybe just comedic. Charts need to be more hip. It's like what they say when they want flavor to be like quirky or whatever.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here.
The guy's gonna get annoying.
No path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Stanley doesn't have that many options to do
Coming to a
things.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Whatever. So I guess the only choices we have are to defy him or to follow his suggestions.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
This is Stanley's office. Am I Stanley right now, or Mariella?
All of his co-workers were
Oh,
gone.
did we just restart?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting
Strange.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked,
Did I fail for some reason?
his co-workers.
I'm not sure if I did something wrong. I wonder if he's going to comment on my memory of things.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
There's no meeting
to stop
room.
by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
There's no meeting.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had
What
really
the
been
hell
worth
is
the
this?
detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley's but eager to get back to business. Stanley took the first open door on his left.
There's no knowing what I did
Stanley
wrong
was
to
so bad at
die or
following
something.
directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Did I actually die earlier? What happened? Like, it said everything went black for some reason while I was going through that loop. Yeah, everything's sort of nonsensical here. This forklift that it's just in a box.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
Is he talking about Mariella?
She's been waiting.
I've no relation to this Mariella.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly...
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley.
We don't know
I'm trying to get you
anyone.
to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
He makes me want to not do what he says, but whatever.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Pressing other buttons doesn't do anything here.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
The TV's not even on, is it? What TV? What boys?
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even...
Are we gonna die again?
Each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
These buttons aren't actually doing anything either, so what is this saying?
With many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions.
Mind controls?
Down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
So these buttons, I'm pressing these buttons, all it does is make him continue the narrative.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
It doesn't let you progress unless you press the button. Maybe, you know, I can wait, but it doesn't really...
Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
I don't really... It's, yeah, pretty strange game design decision to force me to wait like minutes or something, doing nothing, just to see if the narrator gets bored or something and gives something away. Kind of want to read these papers, but I can't. I'll give it a minute.
Suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose.
Yeah, he's just following the
Once
script.
more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time you'll see.
The narrator does not have free will.
And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
A button?
And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Okay. The end is never the end.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm looking for mind controls or something. Now, I didn't...
Stanley came to
Not
a set of
sure.
two
Did I
open
make
doors. He entered the door on his left.
many choices to get to where I was earlier?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I'm trying to avoid
Perhaps he wanted to
the
stop
paths
by the
that I
employee
already
lounge
touched.
just to admire it. Wow. Yes.
Hope this
this
doesn't
room.
hurry me into...
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Where did I go last time? I went into here. And that, I think immediately... like put me into a linear path or something.
And
I
so
don't know.
he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I'm trying to find... You know, this is kind of like Portal, you know? You're trying to escape the facade or something. I don't know. Sure. Wait.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
I think that's the expected way to break the narrative. Because the narrator is not supposed to be, you know, have programming for everything. So if you do, I guess if you go off track and do something weird, he might not be able to narrate it.
No, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute?
It's as if he's getting read in fresh lines or something, or is he just following old programming? Does he get anything fresh? He shouldn't, because it's just a
The
game.
story is absolutely, definitely this way.
I don't think you want to get that meta, that like it's a game, so that it's like everything is programmed. It's more a narrative.
No. This isn't right at all. You're
What?
not supposed to be here yet.
Is this the
is
mind
all
controls
spoiler.
room?
Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense,
We're
we'll
4
just
to
restart
7,
the game
right?
from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Now he actually controls, you know, things that happen. This narrator, like he can just kill me whenever.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
But I guess he can't place me anywhere. He can only reset from prior events. He can reset me to the beginning.
Wait, what?
He can sometimes black me out.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change?
Something
Stanley,
changed.
did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Is this the one I came from?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I wonder if
Okay, yeah,
you just...
it's worse.
Okay,
I
cool.
might be remembering
That's
this
progress.
wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
The other... Well... I wonder what's happening here. The prior set narrative is getting corrupted or changed in some way, edited, so that the prior expectations no longer hold. And we're gonna have to improvise from here or something.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Nice.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
So the narrator's memory is
Well, you know what?
getting
Since I've
corrupted
completely
or
forgotten
edited.
what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Does the game just keep progressing as long as I keep playing?
And it really
Like I'm not really making extremely difficult choices or anything.
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people
Win?
win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
A win would be getting a satisfying
Whatever this
conclusion.
place is, I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Did they say something earlier about lines?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
This door has never been open. Now where
You see? The
this
line knows
goes
where the story
somewhere
is.
that the
It's only
narrator
this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
wants me to go, but
Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Okay, so do we follow the line? Do we stray from the line? The line is some sort of prior programming of the narrator. The narrator does not have any particular motive, it seems, except to maybe try to understand his own existence, which might be also our motive. So we can... I would not mind just following this line, just to see where his programming tries to take us. This music is only distracting, really. The line's getting crazy. His prior programming is to like put us in the weird infinite loop. But like I haven't done much except like occasionally straying. I'm not sure there's anything stable in the narrator's programming, except like the game itself. So, like anything we do is still within parameters. It's just, do we want to do the weirder stuff? Do we want to defy more? Or, you know...
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
Huh?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Is he my partner now?
You study it closely.
Can I trust him? We'll see.
You won't want to miss anything.
What the fuck are you? Study it? I don't know what he's saying.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story?
We're looking for the story.
Is ringing a bell?
Alright, so he's confused, which is cool. I don't really know how to play with the fact that this is a game, except that he hasn't really mentioned that this is a game anywhere, so maybe I could just discard that part. and try not to get too meta with it.
Oh, no.
427 is somewhere over there.
How could you have done this
It doesn't
to us?
really matter.
After we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
What?
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
Okay.
We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our
Strange,
own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this
Whatever. I'm not too defiant with him anymore, since he sort of controls the narrative anyway. The game controls the narrative. He is the game. He's the narrator of the game. So I really hope there isn't too much that needs to be done with like waiting and defying his narrative nudge.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything.
Well, he is the game. We can't actually...
Wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley.
But I should not get that meta, I guess. So just take him as a narrator instead of the game.
Oh, no, not you
What the
again.
fuck?
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or...
It's not like I can follow that.
Just don't acknowledge it.
Monitor rooms. What is the role of the monitor room? It's like the mind control room. Earlier they mentioned it, I think, in the same sentence with mind control. Mind controls.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here.
I wonder if there's anything smart I can actually do with this game.
So I know that each door has to lead
Fuck,
somewhere.
let's not get
Which means
lost.
that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
The other door is not even opening. Confusion ending. Is this the actual tree? I'm not sure which part of this I'm in right now. I'm not at the end.
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one
I'm like
giant ending?
somewhere here.
And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all...
I don't think we found this part with the deteriorated
Now, according to the
office.
schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
So the narrator has the power to restart the game.
Great. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you... All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So
When
he
Stanley
remembers
came to a set of
everything.
2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What? I've never had a door open for me when I interact with it. Wow, this is, I guess... Why are these doors opening for me?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
He is my partner for now.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
You jump down a shaft into the dark. Can't tell if there's anything.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Is when you're no longer happy or able to take the happy path, then you must stray and explore.
A door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape. Okay, so that's the... I want to explore there. Escape sounds like ending the game or something. Who knows? Is this some sort of they will mind control me if I go in here?
The lights rose on
TV
an
room.
enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Surveillance.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's
427.
co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
No one there.
Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant
I
nothing.
mean, most people are not fired. 234 is weird. Two, 3, 4, 104, 601. Is that the boss? No, where is the boss? Who knows? There was a surveillance camera in his room.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Is this building with all the employees, this is the mind control facility where we've been working?
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life, for he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
It's already off. No one works here, and we're sort of the last remaining person, for some reason. Us and the narrator. 5. So we're like... Who knows what happened to the other people, but we were left behind with the narrator who doesn't know anything.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
This? I don't know why this would be permanent. Turning off the power. What does turning it on do?
Oh, Stanley. You didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
Wait a second. So, where the fuck am I supposed to go?
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside.
Should have seen this. Okay.
I have to say this, though. This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no,
Back
these
up
colored ones,
power.
or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge, it's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
I got to 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if that was gonna do anything.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I wonder if we can die if we jump off here. Yeah, it'll probably give us a scene or something. Into these boxes.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
This is different now, huh?
Gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And the narrator has reset.
Open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Now,
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
the suicides.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've got... But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
We're back to the normal room.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something?
Change of narrative?
It was. He hoped very much that it was.
It doesn't seem more brightly lit than before. Are we looping? No.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the...
Well, I'm taking away his power, I guess, of resetting. Like, I'm resetting it myself.
Butterflies in his stomach,
Huh.
giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
he has like additional
Stanley was so bad at following directions.
phrases.
It's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
I don't like that he's reset completely.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Give him a chance. We'll see.
Aha, perhaps you...
What the fuck? That's
Stanley
not
walked
trustworthy
through
at all.
the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
The narrator is the game maker. Huh? Is this... what the fuck? Ah, now it's gonna be take a long time to get back in there.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there. Oh, no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing. Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun. Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls! Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I am structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decide... Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Can't tell if this is gonna get me killed if I walk through here. Can't even see the floor, so it's a problem. Ah, there we go. Well, we're not, you know, like, mortal. And there's like no, like, grand, navigation or anything, except it seems to explore the different arcs, the different trees of what you can do in this game. Is there anything to do in this room? What? Okay, everything just went dark.
If what he wanted
I was wandering around in the dark.
His own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now.
And I guess I got lost or something?
He's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it, he'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
playing The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, The Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
This kind of narration gets annoying,
Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning
and
of a mesmerizing adventure.
this writing style gets annoying. I don't know if it's just outdated or something, or...
What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial
I know there's some sort of
impressions
YouTube video somewhere making commentary on this sort of writing style.
Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right. All right.
Where it's sort of like self-aware, ironic, too cool. The fuck? Sure. Why not? ADHD. It's cool, it's duct tape. Oh, I'm out of jumps. That's weird. Huh.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator.
Oh,
Stanley, I have to
that's the
say,
first time I've ever been able to
impressions
jump,
of this game are
but I have
not
limited
special.
uses
It's just
of
elevators and
jumping.
jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I'm not sure I have a choice in the matter. Okay, it's weirdly like rearranged. Okay, so the thing is, I'm not sure all the narrative trees actually like work together to go anywhere, or if they're separate. It sort of feels like a lot of them are separate. unless, you know, you have to complete a bunch of them to get to the one that goes deeper. I hope that there's a way to go deeper and find some actual, you know, satisfying conclusion to tie things up. Because otherwise it would be kind of demotivating to...
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Sure, why not?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Did this game really win so many awards? I mean, this one's pasted over The Last of Us. I have no idea.
Je suis dans la memory zone, seul sur l'abri des loups, et je n'attends plus que toi, mon amour.
Is this like a self-glaze section?
The Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
the original remake. Nope. These are so low resolution.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
This is an interesting interior design. It's like it looks like a staircase, right? It's kind of disorienting. I don't know.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If
Can't go in the water.
Preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary
Doesn't work
verbal
anymore.
flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle
Yes,
around
long-winded.
and slap a treatise label on
He
this
wants me
one.
to press
I think
this
it has
button.
much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review. Or at
That'd
least
be
change
an
some of the wording
absurd
perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly
sort of
how
decision
Steam works.
of game
Perhaps
design.
that would have been the smart thing
If
to check
it's
on
like-
before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation.
Like purposely putting in
I think that's quite likely.
long-winded
Perhaps
bits.
they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along
He's
the
trying
lines
to
of,
be boring.
This game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolution. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated.
There's
and we can
nothing
say
else to do.
goodbye to it and just wait. How do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to
There's
move on
vents.
and to
We can
please
maybe
step away
climb
from the
up
skip button
above
to
this
go
thing.
Anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
I mean, there's no way I'm not pressing the skip button. So this pulls air from outside, right? So if I dismantle this, that'd be a door. Alright.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
He has not succeeded with his door finding.
Are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen.
Pigeonholed.
I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in.
His
These
voice
words that I'm
gets
saying,
distracting.
I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe...
It's sort of hard to think on my own while he's talking.
Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it.
It's very one-sided, like he
Take a bite,
says.
Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me.
Yep, dark.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turn.
Yep. I mean, there's nothing else to do, and his narratives are kind of uninteresting. Hey. Well, do I feel regret now that he's gone silent?
But they didn't understand the game
What?
was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do?
Okay, has the fan gone quiet? The lights have gone out.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
It's the button. Oh, it has a cooldown for some reason. From after I wake up. Okay. Nice. But is there any way to get out? Is the button still... Nope, button's gone. Whoa, went dark. Okay, that's the ending, I guess, of that tree.